Students, welcome back in your own chemistry class. We are studying chapter 5, surface chemistry. Okay, in last video we have discussed what is the absorption and what is adsorption. What is the difference between the adsorption and absorption, and how many types of adsorption there are, that is physiosorption and chemical adsorption. And what are the differences between the physical adsorption and chemical adsorption. Okay, in this video we will study here two important topics related to adsorption. The number one is the factors affecting the extent of the adsorption, and the second one is the applications of the adsorption. Okay, first of all, we will discuss the factors affecting extent of adsorption. Extent of adsorption means x upon m, where l is the molarity and x the mole fraction. Okay, x upon m is denoted as the extent of adsorption. First of all, first the factor which affects the extent of adsorption, it is nature of gas. Nature of gas means, what is nature of gas? As the adsorbate, nature of gas means adsorbate. If there are more attraction forces are present between the adsorbate, then it will adsorb very easily on the surface of adsorbent. If more attraction forces are present in between the absorbed molecules, then it can be easily adsorbed on the surface of adsorbent. And how will we identify that the absorbate has more or less attraction forces? So see, if liquid or solid is the absorbate, then there is more and more attraction forces. But in gases, we know that there are less attraction forces are present. But we can identify the attraction extent of attraction forces in the gases with the help of TC. This is critical temperature. Okay, what is critical temperature and how affects the critical temperature the extent of adsorption? So see, if critical temperature of any gas is high, then there are more and more attraction forces between the gases molecules, and more attraction forces means it can be easily liquefied. Means it can be absorbed easily at any surface. So if critical temperature is high, then the adsorption tendency of the adsorbate or of the gas is also very high. What is TC here? TC means critical temperature. Oh, now what is critical temperature? So see, if we want to gas to be liquefied, okay, so we have two conditions for the liquefaction. What are the conditions? Low temperature and high pressure. By lowering the temperature, the kinetic energy is decreased of the molecules, and at high pressure molecules come closer to each other and the attraction forces are developed and liquid gas can be liquefied. Okay, but a if special temperature boundary line for each gas is known as TC. Below the temperature, we can easily liquefy the gas by increasing the pressure. But above this temperature, we can't liquefy any gas by increasing the pressure. Okay, what does it mean? So let there are two gases A and B. Its critical temperature is 50 degrees Celsius and its critical temperature is 15 degrees Celsius. Suppose. So what it means? It means that gas A can be liquefied below the 50 degrees Celsius, and gas B can be liquefied below the 15 degrees Celsius, and the standard temperature is 25 degrees Celsius. Means at experimental conditions, gas A can be liquefied by only increasing the pressure, because its temperature is already below than its critical pressure. But for liquefying the gas B, first of all we have to cool the gas till below the 15 degrees Celsius. Okay, and after then we have to increase the pressure to liquefy the gas. Means there are more and more efforts can be done to liquefy the gas B, while gas A can be liquefied easily. Why? Because its critical temperature is high and its critical temperature is low. So with high critical temperature gases can be liquefied easily. Means there are more and more attraction forces, and more attraction forces represent that more extension of the extent of the adsorption. So the gases with more intermolecular attraction forces are absorbed in greater extent on the surface of the absorbent. So gases with high Tc are absorbed more, like ammonia, hydrogen chloride gas, and SO2, etc. The second one is surface area. Adsorption is directly proportional to the surface area of the adsorbent. If surface area of adsorbent is ज़्यादा, so obviously extent of adsorption is more. So surface can be activated also to increase the extent of adsorption by following manners. There are three manners, three ways to activate the adsorbent. First of all, if the surface is rough, see, we do paints on the surface of wall or the gates or furniture, etc. You already seen that first of all we rub the surface with the help of rigmarols. Rigmarols do two fact there are two effects of the rigmarole on the wall or on the furniture. First, it rubs the wall to make it rough. Surface becomes rough due to rigmarole. And the second one is the impurities or the older paint on the surface of the wall or any furniture can be removed by the help of the with the help of the rigmarole. So if the surface is rough, the color or the paint is absorbed in more extent on the rough surface other than smooth surface. On rough surface adsorption takes place in more extent. And the second one is impurity. If impurities are removed, then the active sides of the surface or the observed surface are more. What it means, see, suppose there are 10 seats. Okay, there are 10 seats to be seated. If there are 4 candidates are already seated, then there only 6 candidates can be seated now. Okay, but these seats are for VIPs. If we remove these unwanted candidates, then our 10 candidates, 10 VIPs can sit here. So it is important to remove these 4 impurities. So if impurities are removed, then the extent of the absorption is increased. And third one is the if the absorbent is taken in the finely powdered form, then its surface area becomes more. And if surface area becomes more, means the extent of the adsorption is becomes high. Means, see, the rough surface of adsorbent is more active than smooth surface, number one. Second one is by removal of impure gases from the interface. Interface means the surface of the adsorbent. And the third one is the by using the adsorbent in finely powdered form. Clear? See, now the third factor is temperature. On increasing the temperature, physiosorption decreases continuously, because at high temperature the van der Waals attraction forces in physiosorption are broken. So the adsorbate is removed from the surface of adsorbent, so the physiosorption decreases. But chemisorption, it increases first, and then after maxima it is decreases. Why? Because in starting, as temperature is increased, the kinetic energy of the reactant molecule or the absorbate is increased, and they require activation energy to make chemical bonds. So in initial condition, the extent of the chemisorption increases, and after maxima it decreases, means all the active sites of the chemisorption of the absorbent surface are occupied, and then there is no any increase in the extent of adsorption due to temperature. Clear? Okay. And last factor affecting the rate of adsorption or extent of adsorption is pressure. Pressure, due to pressure, physiosorption increases continuously, but chemisorption increases first and then it remains constant. Why? See, as in physiosorption, as P increases, the extent of M adsorption increases continuously, because it is physiosorption is a multi-layered process and many layers are formed. But chemisorption is a uni-layered phenomenon, and in starting there are more and more active sites. Suppose this is the active surface and there are these are the active sites of the adsorbent. Okay. Now if this some adsorbate are adsorbed on the surface, as P increases, all the active sites are occupied by the adsorbate, and if when all the active sites are occupied, then there is no any increase in the chemisorption due to the increasing pressure, means it remains constant after maximum. Okay, so these are the graphs between the x upon m means extent of adsorption and chemisorption, and extent of adsorption and physiosorption. This all is explained by the Freundlich by its isotherm. So it is the next topic and very important topic for this year, Freundlich isotherm. Isotherm means at constant temperature. Freundlich was the scientist which studied the effect of pressure on the extent of adsorption at constant temperature. He plotted a graph between x upon m and p as following and explaining the behavior. So see, it is the x upon m and it is pressure. The graph is like this. Freundlich divide this graph in three parts. This is the portion of graph at very low pressure. This is the graph after very high pressure, and this is the graph at medium or medieval pressure. In these three areas, we can see that in low pressure region, x upon m is directly proportional to p. It is a straight line. Okay. At high pressure, there is no any effect of pressure on the extent of adsorption, and in the medium range, we have to calculate. So at very low pressure, we can say that P x upon m is directly proportional to p to the power 1 at a low pressure, when pressure was very low. At very high pressure, there is no effect on x upon m. So if we can say the x upon m is directly proportional p to the power p0, means there is no any effect of pressure on x upon m, means it is a constant value. So in medieval range of pressure, means at medium pressure, the effectiveness of pressure is between the 0 and first power, means we can say x upon m is directly proportional to p to the power 1 upon n, or we can say x upon m is equal to k p to the power 1 upon m. The constant is taken. On taking log of this equation, we can say that log x upon m is equal to log k plus 1 upon n log p. This equation is known as the Freundlich isothermic equation, and it denotes the effect of pressure on x upon m and follows the straight line form of is equal to y is equal to mx plus c. If we plot the graph between log x upon m and log p, we get a straight line like this. This is log x upon m and this is log p. We get a graph just like this. Its slope means tan theta, denoted this means 1 upon n, and its intercept denoted this means log k. I have told you that when we plot a graph between y and x, then the slope of this curve shows the value of m and the intercept of the graph shows the value of c. Here it is the y, it is m, it is x, and it is c. Okay, this is the isothermal. And if the reaction is taking in the solution phase, then P is replaced by the C. C means concentration. Then the reaction becomes log X upon M is equal to log K plus 1 upon N log C. C means concentration or molarity. Okay, so C at low pressure X upon M is directly proportional to P. At high pressure, x upon m is directly proportional to p to the power 0. So at medium pressure, x upon m is directly proportional to p to the power 1 upon m. It means between 0 and 1. Okay, or we can say x upon m is equal to k into p to the power 1 upon n. By taking the log x upon m is equal to log k plus 1 upon n log p. This is the Freundlich's isothermal equation. And for liquid adsorbate, the above equation is modified by the replacing P from concentration C, means a log X upon M is equal to log K plus 1 upon log C. And the graph between these is, I have told you, this is the log X upon M and this is the log P. Its graph will be a straight line, its intercept will be log K, and its slope means tan theta will be is equal to 1 upon n. Okay, clear. Now we will discuss the applications, the adsorption. First is application is the in treatment of disease, means just like in medicines. Okay, a number of drugs are used to kill the germs by getting adsorbed on them and hence save us from the dangerous disease. We have used many type of ointments on the wounds, on the uh, uh, on our skin to heal the wounds, just like soframycin, etc. They absorb the germs on the surface and kill them to save us. Okay, next in gas mask. Gas masks. All the gas masks are very important devices. They consist of suitable mixture of the adsorbents and activated charcoals. This is the important. Gas masks are used to absorb the poisonous gases from the air and thus they purify the air for breathing. It is used for breathing in coal mines to absorb poisonous gases like CO, CH4, etc. This is the corona time also. In corona time we use mask always in the outside of the house because there is more and more infection due to coronavirus COVID-19 and it's very helpful. Mask is very helpful to protect us from COVID-19. Next, in controlling humidity. Humidity means moisture. The silica gel, aluminum gel and silica gels are very good adsorbent of the humidity or the moisture. So these are used to remove the moisture from anywhere. Okay, which aluminum gel and silica gel. Next, in creating high vacuum. High vacuum is created by the adsorption also. For this purpose, we use the sugar charcoal. This sugar charcoal is used to create high vacuum because it is very good adsorbent for the humidity and all air. Okay, sugar charcoal is used to create high vacuum. Decolorization of solution like sugar. Fuller's earth, Fuller's earth and animal charcoal. Both the substances are used to decolorize the petroleum, vegetable oils and sugar solutions, etc. These the petroleum from the wells, vegetable oils, and sugar solution as a dirty solution. These are dark in color. And by the animal charcoal or fuller earth charcoal, they are decolorized because the color is absorbed on the charcoal's solution. So these solution becomes clean and clear. To separate the inert gases, the coconut charcoal, which is the coconut charcoal, is used to absorbent for the separation of the inert gases like helium, neon, argon, means zeroth group of the periodic table, that is known as 18th group also. Okay, in medicines I have discussed already. In Froth flotation process is used to concentrate the sulfide ore. Sulfide ore means the sulfide compounds like big sulfide compounds like PBS, AGS, okay, AGS, PBS, HGS, ZNS, means these all are the sulfide ores. In these sulfide ores, many and more sand like impurities are present which are not soluble in, and some impurities are also present which are not soluble in water. So to remove these impurities, we use the eucalyptus oil or tarpon oil as adsorbent, which absorb the silica or unwanted soil impurities from the sulfide ore. Okay. Heterogeneous catalysis. Heterogeneous catalysis is catalysis which takes place on the adsorption process. What is adsorption catalysis? Adsorption catalysis means heterogeneous catalysis means just like N2 and H2 reacts to make NS3. This is gas, but the catalyst used in this process is iron powder. This is solid in phase. So the gaseous phase reactants reacts in the presence of solid catalyst. The physical state is different, so it is example of the heterogeneous catalysis. For the same example, when SO2 is oxidized into SO3, this reaction takes place between in the presence of V2O5 or PT. This is solid, but this is gas and this is gas. So it is the example of heterogeneous catalysis. Heterogeneous catalysis means when the physical state of reactant and catalyst are different. One more example, oil and is hydrogenated into ghee in the presence of Raynaud nickel. This is in solid phase. It is gas and it is liquid. So when liquid and gas reactants react in the presence of solid nickel, so it is also heterogeneous catalysis. In heterogeneous catalysis, what happens? This is catalyst. There are active sites on the surface of catalysis, and in active sites on these active sites reactant molecules gets absorbed and then they react with each other to make the chemical bonds between them and product is formed. And then when a product is formed, then it is detached, means desorption takes place and product is obtained and catalyst re-obtained. So this is the adsorption theory, adsorption process of the working of catalysis. So it is very important process, adsorption process in heterogeneous catalysis. Thus, we can explain the factors affecting adsorption and the applications of the adsorption and what is Freundlich isotherm. Okay, I think these three topics are very clear to you, means factors affecting adsorption, applications of adsorption, and Freundlich isotherm. Thank you.